Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for episodes 18 and 19 of Princess Tutu. Back for more after my little break. Thank you for waiting. I had a good time on my little week away. And now I'm back and I'm looking forward to more, of course. Just always looking to be watching more Tutu. It's a special show. It's very, very good. Unfortunately, no comments to bounce off of here, so I'll need to set it up myself a little bit. So let me try my best. It has been a week. I could be forgetting things, of course. I haven't really gone back through and refreshed myself. But general stuff in the wake of, again, the Ahiru heart shard debacle and what she did by, giving him back that heart shard. It had a little bit of weirdo raven juice in there or something. Muto's been a little bit of a naughty boy. I guess that's what I'm meaning to say by this. So 2 times over now, he's tried to ensnare various people in his scheme. The general goal there of the Raven team is to gather a heart, gather some form of sustenance for the Raven itself. We're also trying to get the plot to play out whereby various things happen, i.e. kind of Tutu fades away, Fakir dies, Ru ends up marrying the prince, and then they're all under his control, and free the Raven, and everything else up from there. Again, I'm not going to go back to step 1 and tell you the significance of the Raven and the prince. Pretty well covered there. I thought worth mentioning, though, was Femio, who was a character to mirror off of Ru. And again, Femio is this character that loves very easily, and kind of gives out love to everybody, but also in a very funny way also holds himself back from said love. He was quite the entertaining character, very good voice performance there. And I guess it's to pull back the veil a little bit on Ru and be like, okay, well, are you doing enough things to justify somebody loving you, right? Or are you just hoping that things fall into place whereby you win by proxy? Like, does Muto deep down, the real Muto, whatever that means, does he really love you? Like, does he? I'm not sure that he does. I'm not sure that you currently possess the characteristics to be loved. And maybe you need to do a little bit of growth there. Or maybe not as Princess Kreia you don't. Potentially as Ru and that personality we've seen from her, you are worthy of such things. Again, it's yet to be seen. All I know is that team is... They're hunting down a young heart or whatever. There was a particular terminology there that I'm forgetting. I don't know, predicting forward, I would like some... I'd like some Fakir stuff, but I am fond of Fakir, so maybe that's just a little bit selfish. Maybe some more Drosselmeyer. I would like to just kind of tap in with him again and see a little bit more of what's going on. I don't know, just some theories. Either way, we'll jump in shortly. Just got to shout out the patrons. Again, very big thank you for waiting that week. Very big thank you for the support overall. If you want to be 1 week ahead, you can support the Patreon. It's linked in the description below. It's only $6 a month, and yeah, you get episodes 1 week early. If you're into your Musume, if you're into your Mushi-Shi, those are also up there on the channel at the moment as well. So yeah, very big thank you to Sean, Ace Lightning, AJ, Akamansa, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, BD422, Botero, Brendan M. Gibbons, Brett Jones, Bryce Peak, Capella, Choberibi, Copley, Cure Dynamic, Dakota, Dapper Dwarf, Diark Lord, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fluffy, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Hans Peter, Ika, Yako Yavanen, Jacob R, Jeff Solis, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Lick H, Lou, Lupe Farugia, Mickey Babbers, Miru, Mistake L. Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Nature Without Man, Noah, Parnick, Pencil Shop 333, Pike, Ron Lad B&K, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, SGM Janus, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Ren, Jami Boo, Binchi, Kelvin, and Vanessa Gonzalez. Thank you very much for giving me money. I enjoy the money. Let's dive in here to episode 18 of Princess Tutu. Very, very excited to be seeing what's next. And rightio, I have episode 18 of Princess Tutu up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 56 seconds on this one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have the official version. Please get that version if you'd like my version. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure to watch along. So yeah, let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Might be getting my wish. There was a knight. Okay. Taking the life of his lover. Duty above love. even after his death. His lover's interesting, isn't it? So either that's talking about stuff that's about to happen in the episode, and Fakir, or the knight, had a lover that he had to slay for some reason for the prince, or the prince and the lover are one and the same. Very cool. Certainly a character in the story that the knight or Fakir has, stabbed before, shattered their heart, and whatever else. It's interesting terminology, isn't it? I think out of all the shows I'm watching, this one was the one I was the most scared about taking a week off of. Mostly because I'm really enjoying it, but it's probably the most complicated show that I'm watching at the moment as well. So if I am a little bit behind on things, that's probably why. I will endeavor to get back up to speed. But I do also forget the show's just pretty entertaining and funny as well, so I guess just settle down, relax. There's a knight. Ooh. Now we were talking about ghosts. This is a dream maybe too? Love the effects on the trees in the back there. Who was it? The Wandering Knight. And I'm not even gonna try down there. What? The Ghost Knight is back? It's not working on her at all. Somebody save her? She's doing the Michael Jackson. I thought that PK was kind of into him too. What the fuck is happening? Pardon? Freaky circus people? Yeah? Uh-huh. How do you guys know all this? I don't think you should hang around with him at the moment. He's going through some stuff. He's kind of mean. That's very talented. She's doing... What's the ballet? Night ballet. The scariest of all. Why is he... What's this pose? That was like the bisexual pose or something. Maybe I'm not that far off base. She fainted. Can't even die right. But we fight against our fate, my friend. You can tell that Muto thinks he deserves to live. She's so short. What is that walk? That was a cute scene, though. Oh, hello. Didn't expect to see you. Yes, sir. Oh. Holy based. Yo, Neko-sensei's read ahead. I know what he's talking about. Neko-sensei read the script. Whoa, look at that. That's cool. It's like, some Dumbo shit. Would have been fine. You can quack in front of him. That's cool. Interesting. There you go. It is kind of perfect for you. Oh, hello. What an ironic story. I know, yeah, we understand the irony, Rue. Thanks. I think this kind of thing, like the half of the script that they have, is interesting because he couldn't pass that one page in the book before. You know, it's all tied together there thematically in a cool way. Okay, so there's more? Are you able to see more? No. Ooh. Snake Girl. Whose bag? I guess, man. Interesting. I don't know, he's just having a bit of a crisis. It's okay. I don't really know. But even then, that's also falling into their plan. Abandoned by the story and forgotten. Maybe that's what happened to the Ghost Knight. Maybe that's what happened to Fakir. I don't know, lots of stuff. Lots of stuff's ticking away. This show's good, I think. Oh, back here. Okay. Thoughts? He's feeling a little bit hoarse. Oh, no, he's just hungry. I tried to catch Femio, but, you know. Ooh, shit. That all feels like major setup, right? So that's almost her fate, too. It's part of the reason why Femio, that stuff didn't work. That's what she has to fight against. I have no idea what's going to happen here. What are you trying to say? Oh, she had the list, like, around her neck. That's kind of cute. I liked that. It's a bit of a ghost town. Whoa. Cool. Oh, think about it. Come on. Can't say I've never touched a crow's feather. No, somebody else is. I only know what I know. Damn, the drive-by. It's just the truth that you're useless. He's been getting real sassy lately. You lost? Oh, the sound. The Ghost Knight. Don't quack. Not a peep from you. Sick. Giving Lord of the Rings a little bit. Oh! Sure. So take me with you. We'll tag team match him. I'm not going to let that happen. This is fucking sick. He's gone crazy there. Okay. Tutu's going to intervene, despite being told not to. Horse headbutt. Teleports behind you? He does have a history of violence against women. But she's spitting. What a brave little duck. Can't think of many things. Oh, law. Alright, that's out of pocket. But redemption. We like redemption, folks. I mean... I can think of a lot of ways to analyze this part of the story, man. You're right. That's what he wanted before all this shit happened again. Get this heart shot up, ya. You dog. Little bird. Was the necklace broken? Did it need repairs, or...? Because she's going to be okay. She's just a duck. I feel like you're missing the forest for the trees there a little bit. Fuck yeah. The Masked Man? Well... Wait, yeah. That last scene confused the fuck out of me. Anyway, let's go back to the scene before it, because I feel like I understood that one pretty well. I like that the result of the night and his whole thing going on, like the ghost night, wasn't just to resolve it with violence again. Like, it didn't end in, you know, some conflict happening and resulting in something happening from there. No, it was back to the whole lovers side of things, and, you know, back to basics almost. Yeah, I thought that was a good result. Tutu, like, took him to, like, it was like her own little zone or something. It was her own little, noble phantasm type idea or something. I don't really know. But it worked. She pirouetted around him a lot, and he was defeated. I like the subversion of, like, it's a trope, right? Like, Fakir, or that kind of character could go, no, this is my fight, leave me alone, blah, 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 I'm going out on my own and doing this. Like, the princess, quote-unquote, comes out and saves him by doing something not so combative. I think that's cool. It was well executed there. Also, like, Muto moving into his role as well, and, like, commanding a knight. Again, he's just looking for another monarch to serve. Yeah, cool stuff. Also, I can't watch any of this for fear of spoilers, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll watch episode 19 now. Let's go do it. And there we have it, episode 19, up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 56 seconds on this one. Sync up accordingly with your own copy. Official stuff, picture in the description below. Let's give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. A maiden in love. What kind of maiden? One that can't confess. Okay. That's probably not ideal. Well, I mean, that's Tutu. They talk about Tutu pretty clearly. Somebody that is unable to confess. And then it's almost bringing narrative, like, broadly into it, right? Because, like, okay, what happens if Tutu doesn't confess, right? The story can't really continue. There needs to be a bow. There needs to be a close of tension, right? Something has been set up, it must be paid off. So it's just going to go perpetually until they die of old age. And, again, the prince, per se, is never going to know her feelings and marry someone else and move on. So, again, it's all well and good to, resist fate, but if you really do love him, then you're truly caught in a bind. I don't know what you're to do. Intriguing. Can't wait to do the ballets that go along with it as well. There'll probably be some good tidbits. And again, I only saw one part of the preview, like the first 2 seconds before, but it certainly did seem that Fakir was nursing Ahiru back to full strength. So there's going to be some, like, Ahiru Fakir stuff. What's the ship name? Akir, maybe? Ahikir? Fahiru? I like Fahiru. Let's go with that. Better than Futo. Wait, no, that's something else. Mahiru? Yeah, you're tucking yourself all out. I think you two are sleeping together. Oh, don't do that. Now I understand. Princess Pride. Oh, what? Really? Yeah, you're speaking in riddles, old man. Well, what else do I need to do then? You gotta tell me. Okay, you're just being a cunt. Rage baited. Dude, she's cool. Zoardo. Oh, Midsummer's Night's Dream. I finally have clothes on. Yeah, did you see last episode? It's not about that. You're missing the point. So he's a bit mad, yeah. No, in the wake of last episode. Oh, nice shot. Show. Yeah. No. It's freedom. You can forge your own destiny. Ugh! Holy fuck. That's like making my groins... Oh, I don't like that. I'm not very flexible, so like that kind of stuff, it's like... I don't know. Who? Bottom son? What I do in the four walls of my home... Okay, they're called Bottom San? Where's Top San? Anyone? No. Alright. Love. Oh, he's freaking out. Fourth himself. Got it in one. Yeah, he's struggling. There's a whole lot of shit going on in that body right now. What? Pardon? Oh no. What just a menace? Found out your secret. Hermia. Why the donkey? Okay. You are. Oh, so you're kind of watching everybody. Interesting. I like that as a conceit. It's pretty clever. By using my persona, of course. He did have a lot of letters. Oh, it just makes it easier. Hmm. Who the fuck? From Pokemon? Who the hell's Lysander? Brother. Oh, hello. Princess Kreia. Oh, she looks sad too. Oh, there's one last bit missing or something, and Drosselmeyer's not telling us. He's being a little stinker about it. It eludes me. I do like that part where she's like, oh, my friends have the wrong idea about my feelings. Time will tell. What's going on here? Well, technically accurate, probably. Such a cool show, man. Well, you had to make it creepy. Oh! Oh, the eyes, man. It was a good try. I was with you there for a little minute. Oh, it's kind of cool. I don't know about heart feeling warm. It's interesting art, though. Oh, is that him? Holy Giga Chad. I don't know about kind. Ah, Neko Sensei. Get out of here. Mime no as many times as possible, in as many languages as possible. What? The sound effect. Ah! Oh yeah, she's still got the letter. In the library. Oh, this kid again. Left the letter. Left the letter. The letter's there. And who stole the ending there? Last episode. Pardon? Well, that probably... No, no. I don't think I will dig with you. And I guess she didn't have the letter. I'm the donkey bottom. No. Well, she does have a beautiful heart or whatever the qualifier was. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, she's gonna fall for it. So there's two little fucking animal girls save the day. He would have won. He would have won if Tutu didn't know. Well, those aren't the same things. Felt a bit early. There's still more to play out. Normally we hit this kind of scene at about minute 19 or 20. Oh, very pretty. Love the colors. Hermia. Indeed. Still so cool. Yeah, let's go see Lysander. He seems cool. Who are you really speaking to, our hero? Hold on to that precious feeling. Whoa! The face, man. Not really. Okay, saved. Alright, well, let's get you two confessed. Come on. There we go. I was just a scene or two early. Okay. Lavu. Okay, I'm fucking locked in here. Where's my guy? Lysander. Oh, you're in. Dude, imagine the balls to do this, man. Lock in. Come on. Yes. Oh. That's great. They're adorable. I like those two. uh. Uh. I haven't forgotten that. He's like, I hate women. I'm in love with the Raven. Hey, yo. But once again, I'm just like staggered by how broad you could take a lot of this stuff. Seems to be, this is the direction I'll go in for now. Seems to be this thing in the show about the reciprocation of love and kind of equally weighted love, and that being important. Like, who's winning that kind of love tug of war, that love scale per se? Who is the one to give love? Who is the one to receive love most of all, right? Who's getting the most? And that whole conversation is counterintuitive to even the idea of love. Love is sacrifice in a lot of ways. So, wanting everybody else to sacrifice for you and to be loved without loving anybody else is not good. Again, it's like literally being commodified in the episode through these confessions. And again, Hermia's like the one moving him around and stuff. Fakir's an interesting one to watch as well. His reaction upon receiving the fake love note or whatever. Also the stuff at the start of the episode, and again, almost him being like superseded a little bit in his own mind by Ahiru and her actions. Okay. Next time on, woman, wedding dress. Whoa, crazy shot. Oh yeah, they fight. I don't really know where that's going. It's not a very spoilery little preview. The Forgotten Story. Yeah, that was a hoot and a half. I had a great little time there watching some more Tutu. You will see me on the other side of this with some analysis. I don't know what I'm going to say. I will say something. You'll see it shortly. And we're back. It's actually been a couple of days since I recorded those episodes, so hopefully I remember things. But yeah, those were 2 more episodes of Princess Tutu. They were great in basically all the ways that Princess Tutu episodes are great. Thought-provoking, moving the plot forward, simultaneously episodic and serialized. Like, just they're doing both in a really cool way there. So yeah, we have these individual episodic plots, like, again, Fakir fighting the knight or Hermia doing her whole thing, and these are interweaving and kind of uniting with the main narrative to enhance it and also progress things along at a steady pace. It's a very good show structurally from that point of view. Weirdly enough, I thought we got some reveals around Rue. I don't know, did we know about the thing? About her curse, her fate, not to be loved by anybody else other than the prince and her father, the Raven? Did we know about that before this point? Because that completely changes my analysis on the previous episode, on episode 17, as well as a number of other things in the show. Just filling a lot of blanks there. In that way, almost like Ahiru or Tutu's love for her is kind of breaking fate there a little bit. It's a little bit interesting, just a touch, just a tad. And yeah, there's some mysterious things afoot. We'll break down some scenes. A person steals that story. There was somebody climbing outside of a building last week too, on the episode 17, I think, in the library. Something strange is going on, and I don't know what it is, but I'm noticing it. Put it that way. Somebody's working unseen, and I'm not sure who. And what else are my large-scale, big-picture takeaways? I'm almost ready for something else to happen. I'm getting a little bit sick of this kind of, Muto pulls some random person in and tries to steal their heart, and then Tutu saves the day. It's still cool. It's just that I've seen it 4 or 5 times now. I'm ready for, them to succeed in that endeavor or something else to happen. I don't know what you do, but maybe just a little bit of a change up there. A little bit of criticism for the 2 episodes, maybe. So in front of me, I have Egmont. Egmont? I don't know. I'm going to say Egmont because I'm uncultured. By Beethoven. That is the, or just say piece of music associated with episode 18. It itself is for a play by the same name, Egmont. The play by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe? Again, I'm really trying here. And in contrast to next episode's kind of intertextual piece, this one's quite hard to decipher for me for mine. Let me try, though. It recounts the fight of Count Egmont in the 80 Years' War against the despotic Duke of Alba. Egmont is Dutch, Duke of Alba is the Spanish invader. So Egmont is under threat of arrest, refuses to run away and give up his ideal of liberty. Very headstrong, very noble almost. Like, keeps to his ideals, we like that. Justice and liberty and all those other things. Doesn't want to let that kind of stuff go. However, his people are cowards apparently, and it ends up with him in jail, and despite the desperate efforts of his mistress, Klarchen? I'm trying. I'm sure that's wrong. Let's call her Kay. He is sentenced to death. And then good old Kay carks it as well, puts an end to her own life. But in that way, Egmont and, Kay become martyrs, right? The last call to fight for independence. Victory against the opposition is happening post-death in that regard. And yeah, this is where I think we link it back to the episode a little bit. Fatalism. That's definitely a theme within the episode, 100%. And the rest of the show, I mean, we haven't stopped talking about fate almost entirely. From the very outset, again, Egmont must have known what was going to happen there, but still followed through with it regardless. Very similar to Fakir's journey in the episode, and the dire consequences of straightforwardness and honesty. You could probably even relate that to our hero a little bit. She's very straightforward and honest, sometimes to her detriment. There's also the element of a woman dying in that kind of conflict between various people. Again, I need to probably have a better look at that little story accompanying it and what the knight does, per se. So yeah, I can see links, albeit tenuous. Let's go over here now to something which connections are not tenuous at all. They're very straightforward, with the connections of episode 19 to A Midsummer Night's Dream. Now, hand up, not familiar with this Shakespeare. If I was, I would have been noticing, the similarities all over the place. For one, Hermia, Lysander. Very cool. Those are two named characters already in the episode. On top of that, I believe we have some other BS going on here with Fairy King Oberon, Queen Titania, and an actor called Bottom whose head is a donkey. Again, it's in the episode, that's what they were doing. On top of all that, Hermia loves Lysander, but her father, Aegeus, wants her to marry Demetrius, who loves Hermia. That would be your Muto in this regard, and again, Muto's actions towards the end of the episode there. And then Helena loves Demetrius. Well, again, that could be either your Ru or your Ahiru, doesn't really matter there, they're both in love. And again, by the end of all the love potion shenanigans, everybody's back with who they should be with. Happy ending. It's a comedy, not a tragedy, in kind of contrast to the play from the previous episode. So yeah, love potion. There is some third party thing off to the side, potentially a father figure in the story, i.e. the Raven and its magic, that is causing these changes to occur and causing Hermia to change her affections to somebody else. This is all set right by the very end. And again, that's just the AI overview. There could be more stuff there as well. I don't really want to read a Sparks Notes on a whole Shakespeare play that I haven't seen before right now, so we're going to take that. Again, the intertextuality is a cool angle for the show for sure. And again, you would watch Princess Tutu when you're younger, right? You would then progress forward and potentially study Shakespeare in high school, and you'd be like, oh, I know that's from Princess Tutu, and it would enhance that show all over again for you. It's nice stuff. But either way, we'll go back through here. Unsure how much I'll have to say. We're going to leave it up to my brain, and if it wants to cooperate with me today, because how many steps have I've done 30,000 steps today. I didn't mean to, but I did. So I'm a little bit on the tired side. I've had some caffeine. We're going to see how far it gets me, I guess. Once upon a time there was a knight. The knight never faltered in his duty, no matter what it was. He did not even falter in taking the life of his lover. That was what he took pride in, his ability to follow orders and see things through. But the knight could not do anything but carry out his duty, and even after his death, he still seeks a duty to carry out. They say the knight, who became a ghost and now haunts this world, holds in his hand the blood-stained sword that pierced his lover's breast. Now, I was getting a bit cute here in the reaction. I'm like, ooh, Fakir had a sword that pierced his lover's breast as well, technically, with Muto with that prince character and, you know, shattering his heart and whatever else. There is a more literal analog within the story and the Ghost Knight and everything. He kills his wife. Very sad. And I guess we can throw this into Egmont a little bit more than we have been, because again, like, stubbornly following duty to the point of death and even beyond death, and almost that legacy there from that character being carried forth, and the martyrdom there being like his legacy is the ghost in my little metaphor, I guess. I don't know, there's something there, I think. Very obviously this is just stuff for Fakir to play off of, like his whole thing is duty and following duty to the nth degree and being trapped by his own fate in that regard, and it inevitably leading to his death. That is another thing that's central to Fakir's kind of stuff. Again, similar to Egmont, he knows that he's going to die if he keeps going down this road, but he doesn't falter. Is that something we should strive for? Is martyrdom there the go, or is being alive better? I think being alive is probably better. And being alive is definitely more helpful in fighting bigger battles to come. Immediately loving some of the color work and shading on the trees, as well as some of the first-person shots through the eyes of the Ghost Knight very early in the episode here. It's just a very solidly directed show. Like, that was a fight that didn't need to do any more than they did with it, and they accomplished it perfectly. Like, it's a perfect show in terms of scope and what's needed for certain scenes and stuff. Like, put it this way, we had that big pop-off scene, episode 13, when, you know, our hero is doing the dance-off or whatever. We don't need that all the time. We're just... It shows me that these people are experts on anime production. Like, it just... That's what it seems like to me anyway. Obviously, very different landscape in 2002 to now, but they're very good at it. Very, very good. And again, those visual touches helping to sell that this is a dream. I wonder if Fakir killing the Ghost Knight in his own dream is indicative of anything, right? Potentially a mirror right here down the center of the frame. If I keep going down my current path, will it inevitably end in my death, much like the Ghost Knight? Or something worse, an undeath where, you know, everything that was ever valuable to me is also gone. You know, I have no king, I have no wife, I have nothing. I'm just looking for some duty. That's not living. Some overarching plot stuff, of course. Fakir is back at school after being suspended for pushing Muto out of a window or something. At least he was having some time off. He was spending a lot of his time in the library there, of course, as well. And some good pace stuff, too. Pretty heavy little opener, and then opening, and then pretty heavy scene there as well. A little bit of Pika and Lily just to lighten things up. We're off to give a love confession to Fakir, which is a big old misunderstanding or something, before we're ambushed by the acting troupe. I like that the two friends, again, PK and Lily, they just fuck off. And we're left to explain ourselves in front of the shrimp over here, of course. Now, I like the presence of the actors in this episode upon seeing that it's, you know, has the intertextuality stuff with a play. That's making a lot of sense now too. And what they're doing right now is expressing their innermost thoughts, characteristics, desires externally through, you know, whatever this is. Does that not speak a little bit to the Ghost Knight conceit as well? You know, is Fakir, through fighting the Ghost Knight, also doing the same thing, revealing his innermost characteristics? Interestingly enough, in that same way, we call her Duck. Like, see what I mean? Either way, plot stuff, the girls need a ballet dancer for their play. They suggest Muto. Obviously, you know what's going on with Muto at the moment. Let's not do Muto. He wants to grab some, you know, pure hearts and corrupt them or whatever the fuck he's doing. So he's out of the running. Let's go get Fakir. But Fakir's kind of scary. I don't know about all that. And then it's like, hey, give this suspicious script with a evil knight on it over to Fakir. Surely it doesn't mean anything. Surely you can't pull any inferences from it. Put up the funny tweet. I think it was a tweet. I don't know. Something. Put up the thing. I know the thing that I'm thinking of. Put it up on screen. Because Muto here is ambushing Fakir. Again, he's back at school after, you know, the whole pushing out the window incident. As well as on top of that, I think there was some stuff with, like, him swinging and hitting Muto or something. But I think... Or he hit Rue. He hit somebody. I don't know. It was a big old sell from them. It was some WWE type stuff. And once again, this element of performance to it, Muto going over, embracing Fakir, sending all the girls crazy, of course. Just an absolute classroom of, BL nightmare children. I don't know. But it's all performance, as during the embrace, Muto acting as the Raven, acting as his evil version, basically says, why are you back? Why have you returned? And throws down the gauntlet a little bit. So this is interesting too. I think the way that Muto is framing it is that, again, Fakir was meant to die already. He should have died previously and is back. I don't know if this was previously in our plot or previously in the story's plot or whatever else. But now we've got this guy that's kind of purposeless. Like, his purpose was to be cut in two. But he's still alive. So how do we reconcile with that? He's lacking duty, much like the Ghost Knight himself that's walking around lacking duty. It's great that we've broken fate, but what's next is, I guess, the question being posed here. And I think the best part about that is that it's anything. You've got complete freedom, Fakir. And I do like that you're doing your research. I appreciate that. After that scene, we have our hero approaching with the plot book. Hey, Fakir, take this scary night book, see what you think about it. Another interesting touch here as well is that Ahiru hands him the play and says, doing these kind of activities and stuff at school, it'll help you settle back in and stuff, because I want you and Muto to be as close as possible. Now, again, multiple interpretations here. Again, Ahiru just sees, again, these two guys, they were roommates, they were friends. I want them to, get back together. There's also the kind of layer of, hey, he's got a bit of a bad boy streak at the moment. I need you to keep an eye on him. But unbeknownst to Ahiru as well, there's all this baggage with you and a monarch-type figure, like a prince, and being ordered around. Why should I feel the need to settle back into my role of being a knight, Like, why are you giving me this thing that's inevitably going to lead me down this path to just be who I was before? He's trying to break out of that, but Ahiru's trying to almost push him back into it. Now I'm going to put my hand up. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Neko-sensei comes on over, sees he has the script. Oh, it's great that you're doing something now that you're back at school, all that other kind of stuff. But then Fakir poses this question. Do you think it's possible to turn a love made impure back to normal? That is a difficult issue. What is impure love? Who can say that Odal's love is impure? So, Odal is clearly linking to Swan Lake stuff, which we've covered pretty heavily here at this point. Rue is the very obvious character analog there. Now, I've been umming and ahhing about this, but I think I'm going to stick to it. I do think that Rue is inevitably going to end up with Muto. Clearly, a lot of water has to go under the bridge there for us to feel good about that, but I still feel like that's where we're going. And it's almost like Neko-sensei is like reading between the lines and like reading the script and reading ahead a little bit. Like, it's like he's an audience member. He's like fucking sitting next to me analyzing this thing along with me. Because Fakir's question there about an impure love is clearly pertaining to Muto, and Rue would be a pretty natural kind of extension upon that. I was thinking more from the perspective of the heart shard, right? So the love shard or whatever that was corrupted had the Raven's juice in it or whatever. That would be the impure love. So can that ever be fixed, is I guess Fakir's question. But Neko-sensei takes it in a different direction and goes, hey, are you talking about Rue's love for Muto? Because that's not necessarily impure. It may be at the moment, but I still think there's an underlying thing at the base level whereby she genuinely likes him and wants to be with him and stuff. Like, it's not just all Dad's plan and, I would just want to have a brainless boyfriend or whatever. I want to have a himbo. I don't think that's Rue's major motivation here. I think it's a little bit more deep than that. I think back to episode 5, maybe, with the lamp and the bonfire and that kind of dance between Muto and Rue. That felt all very genuine. And her, kind of Ahiru giving Rue a little bit of a push there as well and trying to almost play matchmaker with them. I don't know. This is very big picture, but like I feel like those two still do get together, and this line is probably evidence towards that. Fakir and Ahiru meet back up again. I love this touch. The script is unfinished, the one that Ahiru hands to Fakir, right? That's very similar to the knight's role in the overall story that we've heard, right? There's kind of this page where he dies, and Fakir has a lot of trouble turning past that point and seeing what's next. He's kind of tied to, whatever the night represents there, and that death is what defies him. And again, we don't really leave this episode with a concrete answer about what is next. He just kind of laments the fact that, it didn't go the way he wanted it to go. He didn't get his closure even, like, kind of Ahiru slid in and did her thing instead. But would his closure have ended with his death as well? It's a food for thought, I guess. I'm not going to let you go off and do this, like, really masculine, I'm going to, like die for you type thing. Real Prince type energy. I'm going to save you and make sure you see another day, even if it's ultimately to your short-term mental discomfort. Yeah. What does lie beyond for Fakir? We still don't really answer that question. For you classical music folk as well, it's actually Egmont Overture is what we're saying there is, the musical piece attached to this episode. It's playing right now. It's a pretty recognizable one. If you, look it up, I'm sure you've heard it play before. Or you could just go back to this scene. It's weird. It kind of gives me a triumphant vibe in a lot of ways, but also like foreboding. It feels like somebody's final encounter, or maybe even a death march a little bit, but there's an honor to it still. It's a very good piece of music. I like it quite a bit. So the story we run with here is that there was a knight. He was the best. He was the awesomest knight. He did the most duty for his monarch, even to the point of slaying his own partner, which was kind of a Romeo and Juliet type situation. She was from the other side of who we were warring with. So I turn around, I kill her, and then the war ends. And I'm like, oh, well, what do I do now? All my life has been just duty. I'm just going to wander around and see if I can't find some more duty. That lack of closure there, I guess, and want for more work is the reason why he still wanders as a ghost. And the story ends right there as well. We don't really get our conclusion to what even happens to the Ghost Knight in the end. It's like a cruel joke, as Rue points out. She walks in and goes, oh, sounds like you, Fakir. You've outlived your usefulness in the plot. Now you're just kind of wandering around. Got ya, stinked ya. Like, that's her kind of vibe at the moment. Fakir then puts his hand on the original copy. So this is something they have in the closet, and it'll come back a little bit later as well, because the kind of, theater club come in and show him the original copy. He puts his hand on it, and he has a flashback to his dream, where he, stabs that knight through the chest. I happened to find that copy when I was in the cleaning room. It was inside this bag. Who had a bag? I need to do some research, maybe. Did Edel have a bag? I think Edel had a bag. Nah, she definitely had a whatever the hell this is. That's not quite a bag. Who had a bag? Somebody had a bag. I don't know. This is all linking into this random person that comes by later on and steals it back, or there's somebody climbing on the library windows. There's some fucking freak afoot, and I don't know what they're doing, and not sure that I should yet. I don't know, we're going to leave it. Once again, we have these mid-episode breaks, which feel a little bit odd to me. So, kind of, Fakir finishes that scene there, agrees through the play, kind of just thinks to himself, ponders, like, hey, why does this play bother me so much in the story, and all that other kind of stuff? How does it connect to me? What is this weird dream that I had? And then Ahiru is like, oh, that's great that Fakir's doing the play, but what can I do for Muto? Do I just only find the heart shards? Is that all that I can do here? I don't know, it feels like they're wrapping up towards an end of an episode, and then the episode just continues. Once again, not sure that I like it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just some weird structural stuff. I guess that is interesting that Drosselmeyer's like, no, you mustn't forget your connection to Muto, otherwise you will be dropped by the story, you'll be forgotten, much like the Ghost Knight. Again, he didn't have... there's that meta-narrative element to it that I keep going on about. The knight outlived his usefulness. We got happily ever after. What does somebody do after that like the knight that gave up so much of his own humanity even in that? Where does he go beyond the story? Fakir's a little bit the same right now. Muto's been corrupted. We're just kind of in a bit of a, holding pattern, waiting for something to happen there, something to give. What does Fakir do? He's just kind of been chilling at the library. He hasn't really been impacting things. Because, again, I think he was meant to die in episode 13. He didn't. He's still here. What do you do beyond that? And hey, Ahiru, do you want to go down this path? Do you want to feel like how Fakir feels like right now? Well, your relevance to the story is confessing and fading away. You know? You're going to have to do that and keep thinking about Muto and your obsession there almost, if you don't want to fade away like this guy. That's a cool element. I like that a lot. After the ad break there, we return with Ru, or Princess Crea, and the Raven. Dad's mad, but he's always kind of mad. He really wants that heart. And this is in the wake of episode 17. Ru here says that, hey, I tried to get you a heart as well. And then he says, no, that was a foolish endeavor. Only the prince can do that, as again, you will not be loved by anyone but me and the prince in the story. So you doing any of that shit, it's not like deemed to happen. So it's pointless. It's fruitless. We can only follow our destiny, fatalism, right there to the very end. Where again, now we have another character and their fate and how they're fighting against it. See, Ru, in episode 17, is fighting against this thing that she ought to have known already, right? That she is going to go to Femio and try to do this thing, and then, well, lo and behold, I can't do that. At least not right now. I'm saying, how is this broken later on? Who ends up loving Ru that isn't, you know, the Raven or the Prince? Who does that? I don't know. And once again, I'm going to keep bringing it up, that conflation between me and the Prince loving you. When again, the Prince that we want is also kind of this proxy of me already, considering the whole Raven possession angle. That's a father figure that's domineering over a daughter. That's no good. We want to see that change. And this one here just feels like it's set up to fail. There is no way you will ever be loved so much that someone would give their own life for you. Is Ahiru going to give up her life for Ru? Because I don't think it's Muto, unless something changes there. I don't... Nah, but fucking... Muto's always self-sacrificing for people. That was like his... like one thing that he does. Something's gonna happen there with her. Something's gonna throw down their life for you and break the story and change fate and stuff. So now Fakir's reading a lot of this Ghost Knight stuff as, again, stories come to life, blah, 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 blah. Why is this character almost looking for me? He's looking to me, a character very similar to him, almost a mirror to him, as a way to die. You could read it almost like a suicide in a lot of ways too. Like, hey, there's going to be this meeting of these characters. It's almost like we've had visions of it, where we fight to the death, basically. Which again makes Ahiru coming in and subverting that at the very end very powerful. Like, hey, you guys don't need to throw it down here and fight to the death. There's a simpler way. It's also some very particular stuff of Fakir seeing that original copy, presumably the story with an ending, and choosing not to read it here at this time. Like, he keeps it locked away in the closet and doesn't, you know, keep reading. It's also his story and the end of his story. He almost doesn't want to open that kind of Pandora's box almost. Like, he doesn't want to see what's in store for him. Does anyone know what we're doing with this random snake character? Because, I don't know, generally the animals have a little bit more purpose. Or maybe they don't, because there was that joke character that was washing his hands the other day. I forget his name. It was like Kevin or something. I don't know. Snake is interesting. Treachery afoot. I don't know, just ask the question because the shopping list is the reason that Ahiru goes out this way at this time, which leads to her being chased down, which leads to Fakir chasing after her, which leads to our climax. So, I don't know if there's any forethought there, but it definitely does lead to bad things, her going on this shopping errand, so... I don't know. Love this moment here too. So, again, after the performance, or the rehearsal's done here from Fakir, he's like, hey, where's Ahiru? Oh, she went outside to do some shopping. We see like a lightning strike, and within that he sees the Ghost Knight. So he's like, oh shit, he's coming after her. She's out there as well. It's this great kind of dual thing, right? He's chasing down the Ghost Knight because, you know, he wants to have this confrontation. He wants that closure there. But there's also the stuff where, you know, he's a little bit sweet on Ahiru and wants to make sure that she's safe as well. I don't know, it makes perfect sense for him to run away at this point for those two reasons. Up in their tall tower, we have the evil team thinking things over here as well, with Ru and Muto. Like, hey, have we planned on who's going to be the next attempt to get this heart? All that other kind of stuff. We think that the Ghost Knight may be good, you know, as a helping hand. You know, he needs a duty, he needs a purpose. What if his purpose was to help us in our nefarious schemes, help us on the Raven side of things? As we say here, princes need strong knights. If you go to him as a monarch and invoke that status, he will surely follow you. And then the drive-by by Muto, man, that's crazy. Like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. After all, you can't do anything, Crea. Like, who asked is my point. Like, what are we doing there? Again, as he moves more and more over to this Raven side, as things lead to their completion, he's almost acting a little bit more like her father, disapproving of her and chastising her, and there's a weird power balance there as well. She doesn't even really snap back. Like, I don't know, who wants to be in a relationship with somebody that just kind of berates you all day? That doesn't sound very fun. And as things tend to happen in this town, Ahiru wanders into a story happening. It's the story of the Ghost Knight. The text, the script that was literally within her hands in the episode is coming to life. She hears the sound of a horse kind of galloping. She wonders if the Ghost Knight is on their way. A little bit scared. Remember that kind of preamble from PK and Lily trying to scare her as well? Well, it's maybe coming home to roost here a little bit. And yeah, a little bit of Lord of the Rings vibes here as she hides, if only slightly, from the Ghost Knight. Of course, considering the relation between the Knight and Fakir, her seeing another horse galloping past with Fakir on top of it, it isn't a mistake. It isn't by accident, Also, very notably, Ahiru's necklace thingo resonates. Like, the Ghost Knight there is also a heart shard. Oh, this is a cool dynamic here too. So upon hearing that fact that he has a heart shard, he's like, okay, that's almost a perfect excuse for me to go and pursue him as well. If I can take him out, I could also get that heart shard and almost get like Ahiru's approval as well in all of this. Like, Muto's obviously central as well. We're trying to get those heart shards and return the heart to him. Maybe this is my duty that I could still carry out as that Knight character, my service that I can give to both Ahiru and Muto. But au contraire, it is not written in your stars to be collecting heart shards like this. That's the job of Tutu, and it's what she follows through on. Again, your lamentation at the end of the episode, the thing that makes him feel bad, is that he didn't really contribute. He still is purposelessness. That's still his vibe, He doesn't have a thing going on. Meanwhile, we have the Ghost Knight meeting up with Muto. As we kind of foreshadow in the previous scene, he's invoking his, royalty and saying, hey, Knight, do my bidding. I'll give you an enemy you should defeat. Your sword is still seeking blood. Take out that useless Knight. Huh. Like, you were only useful insofar as you were helping me, Fakir. Now you've become useless. You don't have a utility in the plot anymore. You're done. I might as well use the guy that still at least listens to me. I don't know, there's this element of Fakir feeling replaced here, I guess, as well. We used to be tight, and now we went in different directions. I got this new guy, who's also just you. He's a mirror to you, very much so. So exactly like the premonition from early in the episode, the two lock swords. However, the thing that differs here, of course... Tutu. Tutu's here. She's here to change the story. She kind of prances in the middle of the two of them. It kind of looks really cool. Like, look at her go. Ready? I say really cool. It looks cool. Shut up. She puts herself in harm's way, and then kind of does this one, and disappears with the Knight, and they go to almost like some other plane of existence, where Tutu's going to act the same way that she's been acting with every other heart shard up to this point. Hey, dance with me. We're going to do the pas-de-deux, every single part of Muto's heart coming together by the very end. Me dancing with his entire soul throughout the course of the show. We've got a different dance in mind this time. The Ghost Knight isn't taking no for an answer and is striking back. This is definitely the most dangerous dance that we've done with Tutu. Love Fakir's desperation there. Obviously hears these cries of Ahiru through this process, but unable to see her. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on with you and the Ghost Knight. Are you sure you're okay with this? All that other kind of stuff. I don't know. I ship those two, so it's like, it's fun. Tutu then gets the upper hand, starts to psychoanalyze him. Hey, you think you want to swing that sword, right? But you don't. You haven't succeeded yet because it's not your real heart. What do you want so badly that you took your lover's life? You can't stop fighting even after you've died. You're sad, you suffer so much, you hold so much hate. What do you want? Is it really something more precious than a lover's life? Stop fighting and give back Muto's heart. Instead of stabbing each other through the heart, we're hugging it out. Of course, match cutting there with the Knight's partner from before. At that point in the story where he slew her, where he chopped her down, this is the exact same stuff that she was saying. Like, this is almost representing a second opportunity for the Ghost Knight here to rectify what was wrong before. I shouldn't have killed my wife. I think that was a bad idea. Because that's another central theme here is regret. right? I regret doing this action previously because what do I have now that the war's over? You know, I don't have anything else. It definitely wasn't worth my lover's life in pursuit of this. In that way, Tutu finally gives him resolution, gives him closure, gives him, it almost like reverses that regret and that situation through her presence here. And in that process also gets that love shard, gets that heart shard for Muto. Maybe this whole part of the story too is like a manifestation of Fakir's regrets for what he's done previous in the plot. In a lot of ways, before now, this is episode 8 in particular, he has been the one actively working against, I don't know, what I'm perceiving as his endgame love interest. He's definitely brandished a sword against Tutu in the past. Like, maybe there's some guilt there from Fakir deep down as well that he did any of that knight stuff to Tutu in protecting Muto. Because now that stuff is no longer as relevant and he's not, like, protecting, like, that part of the war is over, it's kind of like, what do I do now? How do I reconcile this? And again, in that point in the Ghost Knight story, he'd already killed his wife. So he doesn't have like that person to fall back on. Maybe this is like, hey, at least now I have you. Again, maybe that's what that match cutting business is about anyway. Definitely something akin to this, I think. He had zero chill though. Like, she was completely reasonable. She was like, hey, I might be from the enemy kingdom, but I think you should stop fighting out of my own concern for you. And the way you're going, I feel like you're twisting and becoming angry and stuff. And then he just goes bang and proves her completely correct. I wonder if, again, all those years as a Ghost Knight has maybe given him some remorse in the situation. You'd hope so. Give me, Anakin vibes a little bit, maybe. Just a touch. Again, in that process, he finally realizes that the battle is over. He doesn't need to be like this anymore. Lash out at his own lover even. But crucially enough, it still doesn't give us an answer for Fakir, right? He can't just disappear. He's not already dead. He's not a ghost. So, it's great that the battle's over for you and you feel remorse for killing your wife and stuff. What about Fakir? He's still in the middle of his story. His resolution should have happened already. What is he going to do beyond this point? The feeling of pride is interesting there too. Too proud to admit that you were wrong? Is that the reason why he struck his wife like that? It's an interpretation. It's definitely an element of the emotion there. And again, linking back to Egmont as well, definitely was an emotion in that story. And I guess this is also the episodic resolution for Ahiru, right? She's like, well, what else can I do for Muto besides getting the heart shards? Well, all I know is that him, before he was corrupted, said that he wanted his heart to return to him and then he would return to the story. So if that's what he wants, I'm willing and able to do that, Again, I don't want to follow, like, weird corrupted Muto and what he wants now, but old, like, normal Muto, I'm gonna do what he wants, why not? And yeah, that last heart shard, that's got him in all sorts of anguish. We'll see that next episode. I don't know what's gonna end up happening there. So yeah, as I keep saying, we come back to reality, and Fakir's still in the same spot. He's like, okay, well, my sword didn't help put an end to the Ghost Knight and do that whole side of things. It couldn't even help protect her, my lover, maybe. What am I to do? Am I really that useless? Do I really have that little utility to anything that happens here? I don't know. Read more and find out, I guess. Except you can't. You can't finish your damn book. And then, yeah, here's my question. There's the book. There's the original story. Should have the ending in it. Should have something that should have happened to the Ghost Knight in our little play there. That gets stolen away by a mysterious figure. Looks kind of Drosselmeyer-esque, but I really could not tell you. I think it's purposefully obscure. You wouldn't think it's Drosselmeyer considering that reaction. Now I'm in a bind. Something sinister is going on, but every single one of them is totally useless. If only Ida were here at times like this. I don't know what the fuck's happening there. You're even at a loss. Somebody's operating outside of your control? Or are you being ironic? I don't know. I do not know. Either way, next episode time, once upon a time, there was a maiden in love. I want to tell my beloved how I feel, but my love might be over the moment I say it. well, again, that's Tutu, and she mulled over it every single day, continuously, and then finally died without ever having to be able to communicate those feelings. But the man she loved married another woman and lived happily ever after without ever knowing that the maiden had existed. So that's almost talking to some, like, Midsummer's Night's Dream, like, love fucking polygon shit a little bit. Which, again, it ties into the Hermia stuff in the episode. Again, I need to find the strength, the internal strength to confess to Lysander. It also serves as a cautionary tale for Tutu/Ahiru. Hey, your destiny, your fate is to confess to Muto. Consequences be damned. What is the other end of the equation there? What is the thing that you could do, sans of this? Nothing. You're just not going to do anything. You're just going to pass away without anything occurring. The plot to continue, for things to occur, you must do this thing. Otherwise, you'll be left in the same spot as little old Fakir over there, who hasn't died and is now, just kind of twiddling his thumbs. He doesn't know what to do. If you don't want to be like that, Ahiru, you have to follow through on what's going on here. You have to confess to Muto eventually. Like, what's ultimately going to be better there? You confessing and fading away, or you living this entire life without the, man of your dreams, quote unquote, that is, useless to the plot? Would you rather live, this short life with purpose, or this long life without anything, without ever being worthwhile? Oh yeah, love this opening. So, this is in the wake of the previous episode. Ahiru got a little bit hurt. She's got a little wing bandaged. She theorizes that, Fakir did that. That's kind of sweet. I like that. Before she realizes time's been stopped, which again only happens when Drosselmeyer is talking to her. I also like the comedic scene that's playing out as well, and what would have happened. So, again, Uzura is here just running amok, which just in my little Google search there as well, that means quail? Does Uzura mean quail, chat room? Or did Google lie to me? I don't know. Again, I don't know if I need to explain the joke. She's going to appear again and she's not going to have any clothes on, and Fakir is going to be embarrassed about that, considering that she's also in his bed. Naked girl in my bed? How cringe. I'd hate that. So I guess luckily enough for her, time did stop and she wasn't subject to that trauma. But Drosselmeyer's here to traumatize us all the same. Basically just rage bait. He's like, hey, all of the prince's emotions have returned to him. Congratulations, I guess. Basically what we say here is that, hey, he's got all his emotions from other people. He's got all the heart shards external back. But it's left him in this flux state whereby he's just in pain. He's got all that raven juice in there, as well as all this other stuff. His body is in conflict with itself. And instead of just telling us where the rest of the shards are, he leaves us, with bated breath. His heart has to keep the raven from moving, remember? It is why it was shattered. So, in fully returning the heart to the prince, do we also have to free the raven? That's certainly what it would imply. And fully satisfied with inching the plot forward ever so, Drosselmeyer returns to outside of the story, where he can watch along with the rest of us. Like Fakir, he's still a big old tsundere even now. So one of, again, Ahiru's primary concerns here is that, okay, well, I've just, given all these heart shards to Muto, and he's still in pain. Is there anything that we can do to help this? Fakir's like, I don't care. Shut up. It's only natural that, when we return the rest of the heart shards, the raven will also be resurrected and all this other kind of stuff. You care. You care about Muto and his feelings and opinions and stuff. You have that childhood friend almost connection, You don't need to put on a brave face, is my point. So, hey, what happens now, though? Because he's right. When we return all the heart shards to Muto, the raven also returns. That's also when the Raven's plan gets fully put into place, and he has perfect control and all that other kind of stuff. And then, again, according to the story, that's when, Tutu will also confess, and also that's when Rue will marry the prince, and everything, right? That's all going to happen. I don't know, it feels like we're just crawling ever closer to a predestined failure point. Yeah, and what he says here is you have to be prepared for the prince's pain if you are to play your role. Me as the knight, and you as Princess Tutu. Maybe you're not cut out for this if you can't handle stuff like that. And tensions are high. Again, Fakir's being a little bit of a pissy baby. He's like, oh, so you don't even respect me with a sword and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I don't think you should have it because I think you've grown beyond the need for a sword, right? You're not just the knight anymore, you could be something else. But he's like, oh, no, you don't respect me. Leave my house. Let me brood in peace. It's like, no, Fakir just needs to get past that. I know it's hard. I know it's the thing that you've been doing for so very long, but you can be something beyond the knight. You've broken fate. You're in uncharted territory. That is freeing, almost, you know? With the two still not seeing eye to eye, loving their shot, just a pretty clear break down the frame, separating the two. There will be a time when this barrier is broken and these two can potentially see eye to eye. Maybe like way closer and also embracing and kissing and stuff. That'd be good. I'd like that. And yeah, Fakir left to lament his own uselessness, as we keep saying. Will the story be the exact same if I'm here or not? Am I just merely wandering around, like that ghost knight from before? I think you still have utility, Fakir. You have about as much utility as Neko-sensei, who does the marriage joke again. Watching, 19 of these episodes now, we really do have a structure whereby these guys always pop up around now and do some fucking funny stuff. I don't know. It almost gets predictable, but I never predict it, so I enjoy their presence. I'm going to keep saying it. What they do help to do as well from a plot department is introduce the episodic thing. Like, even last episode, they pushed us towards the drama club, and that's how then we involved Fakir and did the night plot and stuff. So, again, hey, maybe you should give a love letter to Fakir. Maybe that'll make you feel better and whatever else. Here's this letter. There's also Bottom. Go see Bottom. Bottom may be involved here. If you wander around school holding that, Bottom-san will come. So ask her to pass it on. Small moment here. I like this Fakir impression from Ahiru. I feel like it's spot on. Also, again, these two just running off. Yeah, look at them. Just, yeah, very funny. And I was right, because Azura pops up here ever so briefly. She sees the confession letter. And she's like, oh, lavu, or whatever she says. Yeah, I knew that she was going to throw a spanner into the works by giving the fucking confession to Fakir. I just got my timing wrong there. Anyway, Ahiru wants to go see Bottom-san because she's interested in this idea of knowing other people's feelings. Thinking back on Fakir's outburst early in the episode, as well as, again, Muto and his heart shards. If I knew how he was feeling, this would almost solve everything. Pretty on the nose here as well. Rue enters her room, notices that Muto isn't here. Oh, it looks like there's been, a fight here. It was an internal fight. He is fighting within himself. He also keeps being delivered all these different confessions. Which, again, is also a bit of a slap in the face to Rue, considering that whole no one else but these two people will ever love you. Getting bulk confessions from people is something that she can never have. And even at this point, Rue doesn't even know what's happening to, Muto. It's beyond her control, even. It's not even like it was part of the plan. Once again, loving some of the eye color change stuff to denote which Muto's in control. And again, just symbolizing that internal conflict once again. Hello, Bottom-san. As previously discussed, this is a reference to A Midsummer Night's Dream. And it's also a good opportunity for Uzura to do some stupid bullshit. She's always sticking her head up people's skirts. I think kids like to do that. I don't know about all that. So again, the donkey costume is just a little bit more of a wink and a nudge, considering, her namesake. Hermia and Bottom aren't the same character in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Hermia is her name instead, and takes on her role a little bit here, being in love with Lysander before a bunch of stupid love polygon stuff happens. But Hermia, for our intents and purposes, is an upperclassman who delivers other people's confessions. And yeah, once we clear up the misunderstanding about the confession and who actually wrote it and its legitimacy, still think it might actually be legitimate, but anyway, we get on to talking about her true confession. It's like, well, I don't think I can ever tell him, because there's circumstances preventing it. There's stuff getting in my way. That's something that unites both Hermia and Ahiru in this episode. They both have circumstances preventing them confessing their actual feelings. I love this writing decision. So Hermia is said to, or Bottom-san, excuse me, is said to have this ability to, read people's emotions and tell their love and all that other kind of stuff. And she says, well, that's not entirely true. More like I sense them. But that's come from continuous stuff of, me being in the back of these set pieces, right? Again, this is like a creative arts performance school. We often put on performances, plays, dances, all that other kind of stuff. Because I'm tall, which is central to her character, I'm always at the back. So I'm always kind of watching everybody. Reminds me of some of the stuff they did with Ritsu in K-On!, which I thought was really apt there as well. She's like the spine, the backbone of the band, because, you know, she's the drummer. She could see everybody else. Even when they want to put her, you know, in front of stage and get her doing all that kind of stuff, it doesn't work, right? She needs to be in her position because it's how it makes the rest of it gel. I don't know, I like that as a conceit for why she is the way she is now. Because I've spent so much time watching people and not being the star myself, I've got this sense of telling people's emotions and stuff. Very smart. And again, it needs her to step out and be this star and be the, you know, love interest, the main girl, for her to be with Lysander, the person that she wants to be with, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's brilliant. She believes that love is this wonderful thing, but it also has another side to it as well. It has a negative emotions kept within it. You know, people have a hard time confessing their feelings and so forth. I'm just trying to assist in that. Again, I know that firsthand. I have this crush that I cannot act on. Hermia here is also feeling a little bit fed up. Mostly these days the confessions have been towards Muto, but she knows deep down that those feelings will never be returned. She can almost look at Muto and know that, you know, he's not in love with any of these other girls. There's a special one for him. If you see Muto every day, then do you know his feelings? That's the one I just can't figure out. Interesting. This is also plot important stuff for later. If he's the one person that I can't figure out, then him coming out and confessing to me isn't going to seem that out of the ordinary. You know, she's going to be able to almost buy it and fall into his trap and all that other kind of stuff. They also see each other every day. I just love the presumptiveness of it, almost. The presumption. Like, I'm just going to go to the confession lady because I know that she's always going to have confessions, like, for me from other people. Either way, Hermia gets all flustered here, accidentally confesses who she actually likes to Ahiru, Lysander-san. Oh my god, this was the best scene in the episode, and I completely forgot about it. Okay, so Muto's in anguish right now. He has a war inside his own heart at the moment between these two sides and who's going to take control, like this princely persona or the Raven. The conflict of the story, overall, externally, is internal. Oh my god. And here comes Ru, or Kreia, depending on your persuasion, in to sweep in and try to save the day. I know that the person that I like is in pain, and I want to heal him. I want to make him feel better. Like, instead of Kreia showing up all these other times in the plot, and Muto being like, Kreia, oh my god, you're here, damn it. You're gonna do something bad. I just feel like she comes in here, like, with the best intentions. Like, she really does. Look at this facial expression, man. Like, she just wants to help, like, this person that's suffering in front of her. And she can't, you know? It's the music, it's the dancing, it's the direction. It's a gorgeous scene. This is up there with my favorite scenes in the show, honestly. It's almost like Kreia's putting on her tutu costume a little bit. Like, she can't quite do it the same way that she does it, you know? That must infuriate her so much. And again, well, I've talked about this before. Ru, being the best dancer in the school, blah, 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 prima donna, all that other kind of stuff. Ahiru, not being that, being one of the, you know, weaker dancers. And then that kind of dynamic getting swapped upon their form changes. Like, these lines here might have even been straight lifted from Tutu. Like, Oji, you don't have to suffer anymore. Your princess is me. I'm going to save you from your suffering. And it's the posing too, man. It's like, she's just like all over him and he's still like trying to pull himself away. No, I can't do this. I can't fall over to this side. Like, it's these same tactics. They don't work in reverse, I guess. Because you're begging him to come over and be the prince of the Raven or whatever else, right? Coincidentally, you know, be with the Crow Princess and all that as well. Like, you're cooing over here. It doesn't hit the same as the Tutu stuff, man. Because again, that's not what you would deem to be plot-wise. You know, that's not your fate. And again, I know you're in pain here. Let me help you. If you just let go and you move over to this side, I promise to love you. I'll love you more deeply than anyone else. And here's the kicker here too, and this is what I forgot about. It kind of works here for a moment, and the Crow Prince comes out. You'll give me your love? This guy's a cunt. Like, that's the reveal, right? I don't know. To me, it feels like Kreat wants the genuine prince, the real prince, not this guy that mirrors her father more than anybody else. Like, I want the real deal. I want what Tutu gets out of you, you know? Because here's when he snatches control. Once again, it's in the posing. No more resistance. Now it's all grabs and shit. It's only natural for a princess to love a prince. Love me more, only me. But then the other side takes over and then he runs away. Oh shit. Just leaves her all very confused in the whole thing. So the turmoil continues for Muto. He says, not enough love, not enough love, as he shambles away. The ravens hear the crows. They're still going all crazy, hooting and hollering. This is when Kreat turns around and snaps at them. Again, it's almost like she doesn't like this side of it anymore and she's moving over to another side. Wishful thinking, maybe. It's more that, again, this shit didn't work for her in getting to what she wants deep down. Instead of this chorus of crows being like this victory for her, she's now, you know, right back at step one, and it feels like they're mocking her. Oh yeah, Lysander, look at his cool little sculpture. This thing's awesome. Again, Hermia sees love in all this. I don't know about all that, but I certainly see a good artist. He's good at his job. Also, she's tall as fuck. Yo. Get a ball in her hands now. I don't know, I totally ship these two as well. I like that this guy's just this, like, grumpy, official type guy. He does look like he's in his early 40s, though. I don't know about all that. But I get the reveal at the very end, I was making this statue for you, and oh my god, we're actually in love with each other type stuff. It's cute. I also love the element of, like, beauty in the eye of the beholder. Like, she's so smitten with him despite him looking like that. Even with that hairline, too. Maybe there's hope for some of us. After all, maybe. This edit, this like 5 seconds of editing is fantastic. So, Uzura, Donkey, which is behind my cam, there. Ahiru sees that, she speeds off like a fucking motorbike with the sound effect to accompany it. Hermia's left alone, super zoom to Muto, look at all smug. Seems like the Raven's taking control again. Yeah, just crazy 5 seconds there. This must have been the 3rd or 4th time we've done the library guy too. It's coming. Something's happening here. He keeps showing up. And yeah, Uzura's ruining the quietude of the library. She's a kid. Shut up. She's trying her best. I do like that we're finally framing these Fakir library sessions. Again, it's the stuff we've been talking about. What is he after he is a knight? What is he after the war is over, after his purpose is over? Well, he goes to the library. Maybe to learn something. Maybe to brush up on something else. Maybe, I don't know, just to see what the go is. Maybe just to read some fiction and get his mind off of it. But there's no endings in any book I open. They've all been torn out. It's just this cruel joke played on me over and over again. I can't get past a certain spot in the story. I can't achieve a resolution. Again, this is what he's been trying to do this entire time. He's been, like, in the library, I guess. It like, reframes all those scenes. Now, I don't know what the hell these things are, like, animal-wise. It's like an aardvark almost, with like the snout. I don't really know. But they're digging a hole regardless. And they comment about Hermio. Kind of put Hermio and Muto together. Or Hermia and Muto. I keep saying it. Hermia and Muto, they're off somewhere. That's the context we get off these two lovely ladies. And again, like, Ahiru's the one that has the context there. She knows it isn't what it seems. She doesn't even like Muto. She likes some other guy. So why would they be together? Oh, I also know what Muto's been doing with people. He's probably up to no good and, like, harvesting her heart or whatever. So then, yeah, you know, Ahiru runs over, Tutu mode activate. I feel like I've said it before as well, but the voice acting change between, like, evil Muto and good Muto is really good. It's a good performance now, I think. A lot of variations. You're my prima and mine alone, Hermia. Settle down. I don't know, there's some good symbolism there to, like, knocking away all those confessions from every other girl. Now I've got my focus solely on you, but again, it's like predatory. I want to fucking harvest you more than actually love you. He does kind of psychoanalyze her too. This shot's fantastic as well. Like, hey, the only reason why you do this whole bottom the donkey confession delivery thing is so you can avoid your own feelings for Lysander. And yeah, everybody else in that process has just been using you rather than, you know, actually confessing themselves. Now finally you can just think about yourself by dating me. He's got this, like, hypnotism shtick down pat. And then yeah, he gets his carnival on and Pulls another one into the fold. Kind of playing into this is this finally being the star conceit that I brought up before. Again, she's normally at the back of these kind of things. She's tall. She's not that kind of build that is the star generally. Finally, it's my chance to be the prima donna. Finally, it's my chance to be with Muto. He's my ticket to stardom, and I'll be acting for my own fate instead of being that support. Instead of being that backbone, I'm going to be center stage. But once again, it's all just it's a ruse. It's a guise just to steal your heart. Which again, Tutu promptly sees through and transforms and helps her out. Oh yeah, we're probably doing some, Midsummer Night's Dream stuff going on right now. I feel like it takes place at during a Midsummer Night's. I don't know. The setting feels evocative of that. I don't know. There's like fairies or something in it. It feels kind of like ethereal right now. Once again, we love using this kind of shot as well. It is like we're an audience member watching the performance. We even have the, spotlights in the stage direction to go along with it. Even some of the backgrounds here, their flatness could even be seen as like sets and, painted kind of backgrounds for the stage performance. As I commented previously as well, I feel like it is just a few too many times we've seen this now. It's like, I know how it's going to go. He's not going to get Hermia. I don't know who he's going to get. I don't know what kind of heart they're going to get for the Raven, if they are going to get one, but it's not her. I don't know. Somebody was saying some stuff like this whole thing is like a little bit more sexual than I'm probably giving it credit for. Like, yeah, we're like literally placing her on a pyre, and Muto's like, love me and only me, and she's almost like being brought towards him and like devouring one's heart, and there being some finality to that. Again, I'm getting you to read between the lines there a little bit. So yeah, I think it's there. I just don't think it's particularly a set of analysis that I want to follow through on all the way. Not in the same way I did with Utana, put it that way. Maybe it's character age too. They're all just a little bit young for it. Just a smidge. Again, even the characters in Utana are the same age. Shut up. No, they're not. Big episode for Ahiru. Like, the comparison between her and Hermia is pretty obvious. Like, hey, you can't throw away these feelings of yours. They're precious feelings. Like, hey, Ahiru, the same goes for you. You can't just throw away these feelings that you have for the prince and whatever else, right? You need to follow through on them. Otherwise, what happens? You just do nothing. You end up like Fakir. In the same way that Hermia needs to follow through on her stuff with Lysander, you need to find a resolution there with Muto. Despite the circumstances. Despite everything. We both have our own individual circumstances. We must overcome them in our confessions. I don't want you to hide that feeling behind your back. I want you to tell him about it. I want you to go and be with the one who is deemed to be with you. Lysander, right? Like from the text. Like from the story that's come to life here. You must be with the one you're supposed to be with. Doesn't that sound like somebody else? I don't know. This confession, it's coming. We make it obvious there, of course, with Ahiru saying that if I could, I would, and then looking over at Muto. At that moment as well, he's almost charmed, and the other side takes back over. So look at these two, happy-go-lucky. Hooray! Another victory for Tutu. Another lens here as well is that external conflict there between Hermia and, Tutu. Their conversation is also mirrored inside of Muto himself, right? As those two sides at war. What you're seeking here is a false love as well, in the same way that Hermia is seeking a false love and not being with, her perfect one, the one that's deemed to be with her. Hey, you're choosing to be with Hermia. That's not your real love. You know that. You should be with your true love. Tutu. Or Ru, depending on who's in control, I guess. I don't know. Clearly, Muto has a lot of work to do there. This is when Azura sees the confession, finally gives it over to Fakir, fulfilling that kind of, lingering plot thread, I guess you would call it. And last little bit here, the Lysander Hermia stuff is so cute. So she just goes over, she's like shitting herself. Love some of that shivering on her animation, like the eyebrow twitch. And she just says her feelings. She lets it all out. She's able to confess. And it goes well. I wonder if the same thing could be possible for Ahiru. And yeah, it's that perfect storm, because he was also obsessed with her. Look at this, I was planning my own confession. It was extravagant. I made you my model without asking you, because you see, I thought when I finished it, I'd confess my love to you. Big aura gamble there, because if she wasn't also into you, it's hella weird. Like, without your consent, I actually modeled you and chiseled you out of stone. Here you go. It's like, oh, it's a little bit a little bit yikes. But it pays off and it's really romantic and stuff. So happy for these two, of course. Hopefully one day, for my sake, we can see Fakir and Ahiru like this. That'd be ideal. Like that. See? I don't know. There's enough juice here. I see this still happening. I ship these two for sure. Once again, I want to highlight this line from Muto here as well. Like, everyone just wants to be loved. True love doesn't exist. All love is fake love. I feel like that falls into his, like... He's gotten a lot of love. He's gotten a lot of confessions. He almost feels very flippant about it because of that. And obviously he's in turmoil right now as well. We can't take him as a perfectly sane, like, narrator right now of his own emotions. But hey, you know, everyone just wants to be loved. Nobody wants to give out love. Love isn't real. He's on his incel arc a little bit. I don't know, put it this way. Ru. If Ru can only be loved by the prince, Muto, and her father, and Muto has this kind of opinion about love, that love's fake, then, like, what gives? What's going to happen there? And yeah, we end the episode here. Muto pushing Ru away even more, focusing more on the Raven in this encounter, you know, giving him a heart, not because of Ru, but because of him. Like, we're almost cutting Ru out of this thing. Ru, you must understand me. Get out of there. We must remember, of course, this is the story of the prince and the raven. It isn't the story of, you know, the crow princess and the prince, you know? Like, that's not what the story's about. So again, hey, Odile over there, play your role. You're not the star. Very, very, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I wonder how Ru's going to react to all this, because clearly things aren't going her way now. Like, between, you know, the whole thing about her not being able to be loved by anybody and this whole scene here, like here, like it's not going in her favor, you know what I mean? There has to be some kind of reaction, I guess. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. And yeah, with that, we'll end it here for today. Ended up yapping. Oh no, I hate it when I yap. I'll be okay. It was very good. Hopefully I made sense. I was kind of rambly there a little bit, but show gets me rambling. You will see me next week for more. Please look forward to it. Like the video, subscribe, all that other kind of stuff. Patreon, want to be that 1 week ahead, you can access it in the description below. I'll see you next time. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Ciao. Goodbye.